Hello everybody, I'm Mike Barton, I'm Chief Constable of Durham Constabulary up here in the sunny northeast of the country. So why do we need drug reform? Well, is it working? Is what we're currently doing working? I've been involved in policing for 38 years now, and I don't look it. 38 years. I've thrown the kitchen sink at drug dealing for the last 38 years, at all ranks. I've got a reasonable track record with the colleagues that I've worked with. Drugs are now stronger, cheaper, more freely available, and more dangerous than they ever have been before. Einstein says the law of insanity is to keep doing what you've always done and expect a different result. Let's keep doing what we're doing now. Let's see what happens. Let's be surprised that nothing changes. It just gets worse. I'm dead proud of a team of mine. They've, over the last 9 months in East Durham, they've been working on closing some open drug markets. We've just had, it's been really tricky for some of the residents in some of the towns over there. So we've had an undercover by-bus policing operation, and we've recently taken out over 20 drug dealers. We estimate that over that 9-month period we've spent a lot of money. Some colleagues have done some dangerous things. Sorry, this is just the window, but don't worry about it. So done some dangerous things, and we've locked all those people up. We estimate we closed the open drug market for a few hours. What's happened since? Well, we've had some shootings. Nobody dead, thank the Lord, but we've had shootings. Why do you think we've had shootings? Because what we've done is we've completely destabilised the supply market. So different gangs have moved in, and to enforce that territory, they've used what they do, which is violence. And this has been proven time and time again, that law enforcement closing open drug markets creates violence. If you prohibit something, the Americans proved this in the US in 1919 when alcohol was prohibited. All it did was create a monopoly for the mafia, and the mafia moved from a peripheral criminal fringe to pretty much central in some states. Las Vegas was created as a result of prohibition. Hong Kong was built on the back of the East India Company's monopoly on the supply of opium to China that this government, the government of the UK, gave them. There's huge wealth in drugs, there's huge money, there's billions of pounds. My greatest fear is we are creating a latter-day mafia in the UK with billions of pounds, buying up tracts of land, taking control of significant parts of cities and towns. So I think we should take that wealth away from them. And the only way that you can take that wealth away from them is not to let them have the monopoly of the supply of illegal drugs. Now, I know that might be a stretch too far. So practically, what do I think we ought to do? Well, Ron Hogg and I up here in Durham have been working jolly hard at trying to just change the way that people look at drugs, and in particular, heroin-assisted treatment. And I've looked at the figures. So in studies where you give people methadone, about 46%, one of the studies I've recently looked at, 46% of the people who are on methadone treatment were topping up with street heroin. The people who would be giving heroin-assisted treatment, none of them were taking street heroin. All of that money taken out of organised crime. It's now in the Orange Book, it's now in the NICE guidelines, but of course local authorities and the public health budgets are being squeezed. So it looks expensive on the face of it. But what I'm asking for is all to have a really good think about whether or not what we're doing is working, and whether or not we might want to pick off certain policies that are palatable to government, palatable to the people who are unsure about whether we should go for whatever they call it, wholesale decriminalisation or wholesale wholesale legislation. As far as I'm concerned, we should regulate the drugs market, and that's what I'm asking for.